Please.
Senator Gold, I have a question for you, and it is about immigration. A study by the Desjardins Group has determined that large-scale planned immigration that the government is planning, I support it, you know that, will lead to higher real GDP growth at the national level and in all Canadian provinces. At the same time, the impact on per capita real GDP growth is more mixed, depending on where immigrants settle and possibly how quickly they are able to use their education and qualifications in the employment market. However, there is a real knock-on effect on housing. The current supply of housing is insufficient and this will lead to increased pressure in housing prices, and the impact will be felt across the country. So, Senator Gold, my question to you is this: what is the government planning to do to increase the housing supply in Canada for Canadians and immigrants?
Well, thank you for the question. It's an important one. And it's clear that Canada is facing a supply shortage, as highlighted by the recent report of the CMHC. As I've said on many occasions, and I won't belabor the point, I'm going to answer your question directly, but as was reported as recently as today in the Globe and Mail, the housing problem in Canada is a function of so many things that are outside the scope of any one government or even all governments, that my answer will be what the government is doing for its part in the hope that it will assist in the face of market forces, demographic forces that are beyond control. Look, it's hard for Canadians to find an affordable place to live in their communities. That's really obvious. And what you could call the financialization of the housing market has exacerbated this problem, the way in which housing has been used as investment vehicles. That's why the government has introduced a variety of measures that will put us on path. We hope to double the number of homes built in Canada over the next decade, rapidly increase the supply of affordable housing, and help ensure that homes are used to house families, not simply as investment vehicles. It launched a $4 billion housing accelerator fund to speed up construction and help create 100,000 new units, provided $4 billion for new rural, urban, and northern Indigenous for a new urban, rural, and northern Indigenous housing strategy, and made the largest investment in co-op housing in 30 years in the amount of $1.5 billion. This is what the federal government is doing, and hopes that others, governments, private sector, contribute as well.
Senator Omidvar.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you for that answer, Senator Gold. The report by Desjardins also points to a solution, and that is the dispersion of immigrants to all parts of our country, not just the hotspots of BC and Ontario, in particular to the prairie provinces. They note that this would decrease the pressure on housing prices and housing affordability in certain parts of Canada and provide a substantive offset to the impact of higher immigration on home prices. So can you help us understand the government's current plan with the current immigration numbers for better distribution of immigrants across the country? Thank you, Senator Gold.
Thank you for the question, colleagues. Immigration clearly is a key to helping businesses find the workers that they need to continue to grow our economy and our country. The 2023-2025 Immigration Levels Plan will ensure that Canada continues to welcome immigrants at ambitious levels to meet our needs. With a focus on regional immigration, this plan will help strengthen our system and spread the benefits of immigration to communities across the country, the prairies and elsewhere. And this includes, of course, and importantly, Francophone immigration outside of Quebec. And the government does know that affordable housing has become a barrier to pursuing those opportunities in many communities. The government's immigration levels plan selects individuals with the skills to build homes and encourage them to settle in parts of the country that have housing capacity. And again, the government will do its part in terms of housing capacity and looks to provinces, municipalities, and the private sector to do their part. It's crucial that we factor in immigration, as you properly point out, on how we address our housing shortage, because newcomers are undoubtedly part of the solution.
Senator